I'm just outside looking good, son. That's it. Enjoying life, man. Just outside looking good, B. I done been through it all, B. Stabbing, shooting, jail, man. I came out on top, man. Me.
What's good, y'all? What's the numbers TV? It's your boy Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers is out here providing. Today we back with another profile piece. This one is on D-Boy Low. In this video we're going to talk about his early years coming up in Brooklyn. Then we'll discuss his gang ties and how he ended up getting involved in the streets. After that, we'll focus on D-Boy Low's rise to notoriety due to his affiliation with GS9 and the rappers Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel. Then, we'll break down the situation that will make headlines when he was arrested in a big gang indictment out of Brooklyn. And lastly, the focus will be on what D-Boy Low is up to now and where he currently is at today. D-Boy Low, real name Deshane Cockett, is from Brooklyn, New York. Growing up in the East Flatbush neighborhood, which is known to some as the 9, will be eventful to say the least. It's a heavy West Indian neighborhood that has a lot of culture within it, but it also has lots of crime and gang activity. D-Boy Low, who was born in 1991, will come into his own as a teenager in the early 2000s. He took a liking to basketball, but the dream of making it to the NBA was short-lived. The next chapter in D-Boy Low's life would be him jumping into the streets and becoming a gang member. He joined the Crips, who had a strong presence in his neighborhood, and began participating in gang-banging activities. It wouldn't take long for D-Boy Low to get his name up in his gang as somebody who was about his business and wasn't afraid to handle any issues with the opposition. His crew within the gang was known as GS9, who consisted of the Shmoneys and the Shmurdas. D-Boy Low was part of the Shmurdas and repped it faithfully. Inside GS9 were two members named Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel, who in the summer of 2014 would go viral off their first rap videos released to the public. Bobby Shmurda would drop a song called Hot Ninja that today has almost about 1 billion views on YouTube. In this song, Bobby would have a standout line where he says, "Mitch caught a body about a week ago." Fans of the song would soon find out that Mitch was one of D-Boy Low's aliases, and from there, a bunch of people were intrigued on who the mysterious Mitch was and what he was about. Not one to let the momentum behind him and his name slip by, D-Boy Low began to rap also, and in October of 2014 he dropped a video on YouTube with Ronnie Gods for the song called World War 9. The visual did well and currently sits at 1.9 million views. D-Boy Low would take the momentum of that song along with the growing popularity of GS9 as a whole and began to book walkthrough appearances at different strip clubs. He was getting his feet wet in the music business, hoping to become a bigger artist in New York City so he wouldn't have to ride the coattails of Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel. But just as fast as the fame and notoriety came, it went crashing down just as quick when in December of 2014, D-Boy Low, Bobby Shmurda, Rowdy Rebel, and the rest of GS9 would be indicted by the NYPD on conspiracy charges along with drugs and a handful of shootings and murder charges. D-Boy Low would sit on Rikers Island for the next year or so waiting for his case to play out in court when eventually in December of 2016 he took a plea deal and was sentenced to 5 years in New York State prison. He headed up north to do his time, and in March of 2019 after serving more than 4 years in jail, D-Boy Low was released back into society, free to return to Brooklyn. Once home, D-Boy Low reunited with some of the other GS9 members that were getting released from prison. He also got back into the music and started dropping videos to new songs he recorded. He did some interviews with different media sites as people were still very interested in GS9's story. D-Boy Low seemed to be heading on the right path and making good decisions, but then things would go left. When in February of 2023, D-Boy Low would be arrested in Long Island on a warrant for criminally negligent homicide, stemming from an incident that took place in New York City on January 25th. He would be taken to Rikers Island but wasn't booked on a murder charge. Instead, he is currently charged with attempted murder in the second degree and being held on a $250,000 cash bail or a $750,000 bond. His next court date is this month on the 21st of June. D-Boy Low is currently 33 years old at the time of this recording. But yo, it's What's the Numbers TV. There's a quick profile piece on D-Boy Low, real name Deshane Cockett, out of Brooklyn, East Flatbush. You understand, GS9, well-known member of the crew. Shouted out on Bobby Shmurda's hit song that got, like I said, close to 1 billion plays. Now, there's not too many details on the new situation he's locked up for. It's like a little hazy. I think it's some type of shooting they're saying. But in the article, it says he's locked. It was a warrant for murder, But when you look his name up on the New York City inmate lookup, it says attempted murder 2nd degree. So we gotta wait and see how it plays out. I just wanted to do a profile piece to update everybody on what's going on with Mitch, aka D-Boy Low. Now, when he came home, he didn't really recapture the hype that was behind GS9, but he was still grinding, dropping stuff consistently, doing interviews. So he was still working. He didn't give up. It wasn't like he was just doing it just to see if he could get lit. He still was working, dropping music, doing freestyles, interviews. Bobby and Rowdy are not as tight as they once were. So it's kind of left GS9 not as tight as a crew no more, as far as from the outside looking in. They're not together, moving as a unit. So, the crew doesn't have that same, like, all eyes on them because they're not together. And they're still young. So if they would have came home and captured that, that crew love again, maybe the whole crew would have got lit again as they were before he went to jail. But it didn't really happen like that. They both doing their own thing, still making money, still doing them. So D-Boy Low had to kind of like fend for himself and find his own lane on the come home. Now, some members of GS9 got real time, like a Rasha, A-Rod, a Quano. They got locked up for murders and shootings, and they got, over 40, 50 years, things like that, 30, 40, 50, some got 70. Got a lot of time, you understand what I'm saying? I did a profile piece on Quano, you can go check that out. The one thing you can't take from GS9, their run was one for the ages. They kind of ushered in the Brooklyn drill wave, the lifestyle. Even if the music itself wasn't really like drill music, it was kind of like the lifestyle. All the guys in the video dancing around, doing their own thing, just basically doing them, not really caring what anybody think. And then after that is when all the drill came. After GS9 got locked up, the drill wave in Brooklyn started to come and take over. Where that took? That went all over the city. Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, everybody doing drill now in New York City. So shout out to GS9, D-Boy Low. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta see how this case plays out. And we like to do profile pieces on people that everybody hasn't done something on, So that's what this is right here, man. I hope you guys appreciate it. What's the Numbers TV. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok, or What's the Numbers TV. Also follow my partner Batty Bills on the channel. Follow the live stream and clips channel, the sports channel, any business, Poro, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. And we back before you know it, maybe 100,000 strong. Appreciate all the love and support. We out here, man. Poro, What's the Numbers TV. Peace.